The government of China is facing heavy criticism from its own people tonight, linked to the coronavirus outbreak. A social media storm erupted after the death of a doctor who was punished for his warnings. In all, China has now reported nearly 720 deaths and well over 34,000 cases. Meanwhile, more Americans were flown from China to a military base outside San Antonio today. Another flight arrived at a base near San Diego. Federal officials again urged calm.
It's understandable that Americans are concerned, but again, the immediate risk to the American public is low, and we are vigilant in our efforts to confront the challenges that this new virus presents.
We'll return to the situation in China after the news summary. New numbers on the U.S. economy show job growth jumped in January. The Labor Department reports that employers added a net of 225,000 positions last month. Unemployment rate, the rate ticked up a tenth to 3.6% as more people entered the labor market. We'll take a closer look at this report later in the program. 7 Democratic presidential candidates will debate tonight in New Hampshire, ahead of next Tuesday's primary. It comes as final Iowa caucus results show Pete Buttigieg and Bernie Sanders finished in a virtual tie. The Iowa State Democratic Party asked candidates today for any evidence of mistakes in the results. They have until Monday to ask for a recanvass. Among Republicans, former Congressman Joe Walsh ended his long-shot campaign for president today. We'll return to the campaign later with a live report from New Hampshire. A key impeachment witness against President Trump has been removed from his White House job. His lawyer says that Army Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman was fired today from the National Security Council staff, along with his twin brother. Both were escorted from the building. But Defense Secretary Mark Esper said the pair will be welcomed back to the Pentagon.
We protect all of our persons, service members from retribution or anything like that. So we've already addressed that in policy and other means.
Vindman had testified that President Trump improperly pressed Ukraine's president to investigate potential Democratic opponent Joe Biden. A federal appeals court today killed a lawsuit alleging that the president violated the Constitution's emoluments clause. 200 Democratic lawmakers had charged that his businesses have illegally accepted benefits from foreign governments. The court said that the lawmakers lacked legal standing to sue. The president hailed the ruling as he left for a speech in North Carolina.
I'll be reading it on the helicopter, but it was a total win. This was brought by 230 Democrats in Congress on emoluments. It was another phony case, and we won it 3-0. We won it unanimously.
Other lawsuits over the emoluments issue are still pending in the federal courts. New York State sued the Trump administration today in an escalating fight over immigration. The suit targets a decision to bar New Yorkers from quick passage through airport security. Federal officials say they responded to a state law that blocks immigration agents from access to driver's license records. A deadly storm system has moved into the northeastern U.S. with extreme winds, ice, and snow. It already killed at least 5 people across the south and knocked out power to more than 400,000 customers. Strong winds uprooted trees and tore through mobile homes from Florida to Mississippi. In South Carolina, downpours left people stranded by flooding. In the Pacific Northwest, heavy rain and melting snow are causing severe flooding and landslides. Roads are closed in parts of western Washington state. Workers have been struggling to clear culverts and drain the rushing water. Democrats in the U.S. House of Representatives voted for the passage of $20 billion in emergency aid for Puerto Rico today. It follows earthquakes that set back the recovery from Hurricane Maria. The bill has little chance in the Republican-controlled Senate, and the White House has promised a veto, citing mismanagement by the island's government. And on Wall Street, stocks pull back after a 4-day rally. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 277 points to close at 29,102. The Nasdaq fell 51 points, and the S&P 500 slipped 18. Still to come on the NewsHour, outrage and alarm in China after the doctor who blew the whistle on the coronavirus dies. What today's jobs report says about the health of the economy under President Trump. A conversation with the former top U.S. diplomat to Ukraine, William Taylor, now that the impeachment trial has come to an end, and much more.
This is the PBS NewsHour from WETA Studios in Washington and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.